Good evening and welcome here to Turner Stadium here on the campus of Taylor University for tonight's season opening contest for the Taylor women's soccer team as they take on number 3 Northwestern Ohio. It's the Racers and the Trojans as we kick 2018 off here on the women's soccer side. Rick Johnston here with you for another exciting season of Taylor women's soccer, and the Trojans will be getting used to life without Nikki Zano and Megan Kammer having a heavy hand in things offensively. They both graduated this last year. Bailey Zaire is the returning offensive player for the Trojans, but the strength lies in the defense for TU this year. They bring back all of their starting defenders from a year ago, and they also bring back all 3 goalkeepers as well. The question tonight for Taylor is who will try to shoulder the load with Bailey Zaire there on the offensive side of things for TU. And for Northwestern Ohio, they are getting used to life under a new head coach as Jen Derverix takes things over for UNOH. She's been an assistant for the Racers for the past 5 years. They won the national title 2 years ago, defeating Spring Arbor, who is a conference foe of Taylor. They got knocked out of the national semifinals a year ago by that same Spring Arbor club as SAU went on to win last year's national title. 2 members of the Northwestern Ohio team played for Ghana in the U20 World Cup this past summer. And they have a very talented roster coming back. They had a slew of All-American selections a year ago. And we'll see what Taylor can do against one of the top teams in the preseason poll against number 3 Northwestern Ohio. But before that, we get a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Trojans, Scott Stan, for the first time this season. What's up with the head coach of the Taylor women's soccer team, Scott Stan, before their opening game of the 2018 season against number 3 Northwestern Ohio. Scott, you lose Nikki Zano and Megan Kammer from a year ago. You've had the entire offseason with the spring and now here in the fall to try to figure out how to replace their offensive production. How's the team looked in replacing those 2 offensive studs from a fall ago?
The team looks really good. I don't think it'll be 2 that carry the load, but I think we'll have 3 or 4 that can probably equal their numbers. Hopefully they can equal the impact, but that senior leadership's hard to replace, but we're ready.
You obviously bring Bailey Zaire back. That's a huge help to the offensive load. But how do you try to get some other people to step in there and help carry the water with her, since you know the defense will try to shut down 3 at all costs?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're actually going to go to 2 forwards instead of 3, but we'll have Erin Tevens, who's also a blazingly fast forward. And then we'll have Emma and Allie, who can come in at forward. I think they're going to be great goal scorers for us. And behind them, Jordan Lehman, who can obviously shoot and score goals and is now a sophomore and feeling really good. She's ready as well. So I'm not too worried about offense. Maybe the first couple of games getting it clicking, but I think once they get into a rotation and rhythm, they're going to be fine.
You know things will be locked down on the other side of the field with the defense. Obviously, Savannah Porter, a senior captain. Lauren Engelkess, a strong goalie. You bring back all 3 goalies from a year ago. All of your defenders, and a lot of them were a lot of youthful defenders back there a year ago. They're not the tallest bunch, but they're pretty scrappy. How does that help you early on in the season, knowing that you have a pretty good handle on how the defense will look and you know what they can do and how they play?
Well, even in the preseason, it allowed us to focus on offense because they know what they're doing, and they got less love but higher expectations. So I worked 1 day specifically with the defense, and the rest was offensive patterns and things like that. But I just expect them to go do what they've been taught, and for them it was fine-tuning. But, man, it's a strong defense. Hopefully we just pick up where we left off and can, give up less than a goal a game, and that would be kind of the whole goal for the year.
We're talking with head coach Scott Stan before the season opener with Northwestern Ohio. They come in, the Racers do, 3rd-ranked team in the country. They were a national semifinalist a year ago. They fell in the national semis to Crossroads League foe Spring Arbor, which eventually won the national title. But Northwestern Ohio, no slouch. They were the national champs 2 years ago. I know it's a tough test, and obviously you need that with Spring Arbor and Marion in your league. How do you try to match blow for blow with Northwestern Ohio tonight?
Well, I've never believed in bunkering and sitting back and trying to get a tie, so we're going to go at them. We also realize it's their first game of the year, so things might not be fine-tuned. Yeah, number 3, number 1, number 80, we're going to have the same game plan. It doesn't matter. The only thing in the back of our head is we realize that they're very, very good players. 2 were just back from the U20 World Cup with Ghana. I'm like, oh, that's a little scary, but why not play the best teams that you can, especially this time of year? So it'll give us an indication of we've made progress or we have significant things to work on in practice, and I'll know what to do next week.
And lastly, who gets to start in goal for you tonight? Obviously, plenty of talent back there. Any choice is a good choice.
Yeah. Lauren Engelkess will start this game, and we'll probably switch Megan Williams at halftime, and we'll do just the opposite down at Cincinnati Christian. And right now, those 2 can fight it out for the starting role.
Scott, thanks for the time. Should be a fun year.
Woo, looking forward to it, my friend. Thanks.
We appreciate Scott Stan taking some time to talk things over with us before tonight's contest. We will pause for the national anthem. When we come back, it's time to get things going for the 2018 soccer season here for the Taylor women's soccer program. This has been the Marion General Hospital pregame show here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree. And we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones Financial Advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson can help you get started today. They are proud partners of Taylor University Athletics.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has served Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes on Sundays. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk, and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride, with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at TaylorCampusStore.com.
Join the Trojan Club today. Support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game.
recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Back here at Turner Stadium as we get ready to kick off the 2018 season for the Taylor women's soccer team. As freshman Aaron Tevens will be one of the starting forwards alongside Bailey Zaire here tonight. And as you heard from head coach Scott Stan in our pregame interview, Lauren Engelkes gets the start in goal tonight. Taylor defends the goal to our left. They're clad in white with purple numbers trimmed in gold. Northwestern Ohio, they are in black with white numbers on the front and back. Savannah Porter will send it up to the near side. And then Julie Casanave will have it played back into the defensive half. That's where she'll find Kate Ajiman, who was a first-team All-American a year ago. As UNOH, the preseason number 3 team in the country. They will be attacking the goal to our left. Ketsaya Nar steps in front of a pass, and now setting in the back will be Northwestern Ohio. Calvani, the Xavier transfer, in her second season here at TU, trying to battle for it forward. You heard Taylor head coach Scott Stan mention in that pregame conversation how he never really believes in falling back and trying to play for a tie against a team that might be more talented than you are, and Taylor has come right out here and challenged every pass here from UNOH from the opening whistle. Claddy steps in front of the pass, but UNOH will carry forward with Millie Hawkins. Senior defender out of New Zealand. Tevens, the freshman, will find it to the near side, and Calvani too far for her. It rolls out of bounds, and it will go back to Northwestern Ohio. Jackie Gardner will throw it in. She's the only American by birth here on the roster for UNOH. She is out of Kalida, Ohio. Tevens takes this one away from Casanave, the captain for the Racers. They're out of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. They were picked to win that conference. They've won 4 straight WAC regular season titles, and they made 5 straight trips to the national tournament. Casanave will bend one to the middle. Iris Rabot after it. And then back they find Casanave, and then back across midfield to Ellen Sandstrom, who's out of London, England. UNOH carrying up the far side of the field. A little centering ball to the end line. Will it be too far? Yes, it just rolls past the outstretched foot the 5'4" senior forward, Ketsaya Nar. UNOH led by first-year head coach Jen DeVerix. She was a 5-year assistant for UNOH before being promoted to the head coach position earlier this summer. Zaire trying to head it to her offensive half for TU, but UNOH will come away with it, and they'll control things in the defensive half. Calvani stepping in front will keep it working forward in Taylor's favor. Lehman will boot this over Stevens' head, and Taylor still trying to hold it in here. Lehman will rotate back, and she will find the trailing Claddy. Here's Hannah Waltz. A little left-footed pass goes over the head. Stevens knocks it down, sweeper into space. Zaire just too far for her to get as Ajiman steps in front and will slice this one away for UNOH. Donna Schuler to the captain in Casanave. Claddy almost got her foot on a pass. Rolling with it is Stefan Stetier. Make that Stefan Statier, excuse me. A long pass deep. Raina Williams heads it. And the freshman Massey tried to clear. Williams will step in. That white headband fell off. It's sitting there just shy of the 30-yard line. Torin to Claddy. And now up to the forwards there. Back to the middle and Claddy. Little dump through pass. Too far for Lehman. And now UNOH will get back to control with Jackie Gardner. Ava Loritz spins and she'll go back to Cindy Canto, the keeper. Canto, a freshman from England. Sandstrom, out of Sweden. Transferred from the University of West Alabama. Riley Massey throws that foot in front of a pass. Can't clear it. Here comes UNOH working it forward, but a good pressure from behind by Claddy. And then Torn will work it up to Lehman for TU. Calvani, long right-footed ball. And easily knocked down by Kate Ajiman. Eileen Uzen. And UNOH will lay this one back. Long pass up to Ketsaya Nar. She and Williams in a foot race. Nar the first one there in the corner. Just past 5 minutes gone here in half one. No shots yet from either side. And neither team trying to take some time, trying to feel the other one out tactically. Casanave works it in, and this will shot wide, and Engelkess will have a goal kick for TU. Engelkess will right foot this one forward. Torin has it go over her head. Porter stepping in and will head it forward for Taylor. It's still in the defensive half. Massey over. Her feet get tangled up with Schuler. Still in play before Schuler sweeps it out. And it'll go off the back of the leg of Schuler, and Taylor will throw it in with Massey on the near side of the field. 5'10" freshman from Loveland, Ohio. Captain of state championship team during her time at Loveland High School. Gardner will throw it in over the head of the intended target, and Massey will get it out of there for Taylor. Back up towards midfield. Back into space. Stevens, who is lightning quick, just like her forward counterpart, or forward battery mate, Zaire. And UNOH will knock this one out. A quick throw in by Calvani for TU. And now UNOH will set things up with Millie Hawkins from New Zealand on the far sideline. And then UNOH kicks it out of bounds, and TU will have a throw in far side. Taylor in all white, UNOH in black. Taylor has not been able to hold the ball in their offensive half for long stretches of time here tonight. But they prevented UNOH from getting any clean looks so far, as just one shot all night so far for UNOH. That was a long one that was bent well wide of the frame. Clottey steps in front of the pass, but it'll be held in here by UNOH. Williams steps in and deflects it out, as Eileen Uzin was the one carrying forward. Lehman denies an easy shot from Rabot. Massey right there step for step with Nar. And she kicks it out for a UNOH throw-in. Left-footed pass. Clottey knocks it out. Now Torin up to Lehman into space, and now here comes Stevens. She's got a step on the trailer. Now let's see how fast Stevens can work up the near side. The freshman carrying forward. No score here early on at the top of the box. Zare trying to rotate back. She'll work it left side where Hannah Waltz is wide open, and she puts that left-footed shot high over the crossbar. But a beautiful run there for Taylor. Started in the back end, and then Stevens carried that one over 40 yards. So Hannah Waltz on the shot for Taylor. As Zare tried to rotate back to that left foot, she knew she couldn't get a clean shot off, so she worked it to the far side of the box, where Waltz came storming in and just sent one a little bit high as Taylor looked for the first tally of the season for either team. As we mentioned a few moments ago, they, in the early 7 or so minutes, had been unable to really hold the ball on the offensive end, and they made quick work of moving that one up the near side with Stevens, the speedster. Knocked out by UNOH, and Massey will throw it in from about 15 yards inside midfield near side. Lehman trying to track down Stefan Statier, who's out of Iceland. And then Williams will left foot this one out of play away from Uzin. UNOH trying to cross. Torin puts a toe in there. Then Clottey, Lehman, the intended target. Casanave, and a shot wide right. So the two teams getting things going offensively here. Second shot of the night for UNOH. Just one for TU. Both teams, though, trying to find their groove here just over 10 minutes into this opening half. It's the season opener for both teams. UNOH trying to make the national tournament for the 6th straight season. Taylor just narrowly missed making the national scene 2 years ago. And now UNOH will try to work things in the back with Ajiman, a freshman from Ghana. Or a sophomore from Ghana, excuse me. She was a first-team All-American a year ago. One of 8 players for UNOH to earn All-American status. They had 5 first-team All-American picks, and Ajiman, the only first-team All-American back. The ball deflects back up to midfield. The freshman Clottey will dump it up to the senior Zare, trying to run the give and go with Clottey. It's knocked back in by Casanave. Into space, Williams right there, knocking it away from Nar, then one will loop in deep. Waltz, inside position, will just curl this one away from the pressure applied by Uzin. 33-37 remaining in the opening half, no score. 3 shots between the two teams tonight. 2 for Northwestern Ohio, the 3rd-ranked team in the country. 1 for TU, but their one shot was a good one. A long pass from Waltz to Zare. She'll knock this one down to Lehman, trying to thread it up through. Ajiman will take it away from the intended target, Stevens. Waltz blasts it right back to where it came from, but then Ajiman will drive in deep and trying to find Nar. UNOH will find the captain, Casanave, and then her long left-footed pass sails out, and Massey will throw it in for TU. Torn off the top of her head, but right to Casanave. Rabot will carry to the middle of the field, being marked by Clottey and now by Lehman. Calvani got a heel on it. She'll wave Massey forward, and then Massey will drive the orange soccer ball deep. Over Stevens' head, and then wisely headed out of there by Ajiman, the sophomore. Calvani to throw it in. She's got Zare in space. She'll try to thread it through to her. Pinballs around a couple of times, and it finds the feet of Lehman. Calvani trying to step on through, poked back in by Torn, and now Lehman will try to set things up. Fakes a pass, and then Zaire will heel click it back, but is just too far away. A little too much juice on that one for Calvani to get to in time. A good idea there from the Magician wearing 3 in white. And a deep throw in the defensive half here for UNOH. Zaire pressures Ajiman, I should say. And then Lort will give it back to the All-American. Claddy back to the sophomore Williams. Now to Lehman. Dancing with it, and then back to midfield in the freshman Massey. The senior Calvani will hold it in. No, she will not. Just took a bounce over that near sideline before she could hold it in. Torren into space. Calvani keeps it in. Zaire will dink it over to Lehman, and then Torren will drive it over towards Stevens. Knocked down. Taylor screams for a foul. They won't get it, as Stevens was sent sprawling down to the artificial surface. 5'4" forward out of Wheaton Academy. Here comes UNOH the other way. They attack the goal to our left. They're in black with white numbers. Taylor in white. They attack the goal to our right. They have purple numbers trimmed in gold. Ajiman will right foot one deep. Trying to cut in from the right wing is Eileen Uzin. Raina Williams for Taylor marks her. Uzin with that left foot at the top of the box. Knocked off her path momentarily. Then they lay this one back to Casanave. Torren will mark her. Casanave from deep, and this one wide left. As the head coach of Northwestern Ohio, Jen Derverix, does a half pirouette down on the near sideline. Three shots on the evening for Northwestern Ohio. Just one so far for TU. Season opener for both clubs. Nar has it bounce away from her left hip, but it's held in by UNOH. Bouncing in, Massey will lay it back to the 18. Right near the end line is where Engelkes will sky this one to the near side of the field in Calvani. She and Casanave battling with it. And they whistle a foul on Emily Calvani. So there's the first foul of the night on either side, and it goes against TU. It'll be taken by the All-American Kate Ajiman, who's out of Ghana. She puts that right hand into the air, hits it with her neon yellow cleats, right into Engelkes, knocks it down, and then falls right on top of it in traffic. One of Engelkes' best attributes is she is really good at just catching the ball. A little slip there, but no trouble done, and she'll drop kick this one back into play. Claddy steps in front of the redirect up to Stevens. Trying to curl one in towards Zaire. Now it bounces away from the defender. Zaire back to her classmate Calvani. Calvani looking back to the middle. She'll find Torren on the right flank. Lehman to Calvani. No score here as we're just past 15 minutes into this first half. Long pass with the far side of the field. Uzin hustling after it. 5'2" sophomore out of Germany. Back to midfield. She'll find the 5'4" freshman from France. That is Iris Rabot. Here's Jackie Gardner on the left sideline. Massey defending her. She'll step in. She'll take it right off of her toe and trying to send it back up to midfield. Stepping in front of the pass, however, will be Casanave. Casanave on the give and go with Schuler. Trying to find Nar. Savannah Porter for Taylor has other ideas. Jordan Lehman slipped as she's trying to carry up towards midfield. Then the ball squirts out to the far sideline. It will be a Taylor throw-in from all the way on the other side of the field. And Taylor will bring on their first sub of the night. It will be Hannah Davis. She replaces Calvani. So Davis, who's been a forward previously in her career, she'll take over for Calvani on this right outside wing position. As Taylor going with 2 forwards after playing with 3 forwards in the past. So that means they have 5 midfielders and 3 defenders, it looks like, tonight. Davis to Tevens. Just behind Davis, will redirect her path and scoop it up. Davis dancing with it, gets a little space to her left, then taken away by the second defender sliding in. That's Donna Schuler. Rebecca Schwolst getting loose on the near side for TU. Savannah Porter will throw it in for the Trojans. No score, just less than 27 minutes remaining here in half one. Porter started her path, now steps in and will heave this one into the box. Trying to find Torin, stepping in, it falls inside the box, but then sent away by Ajiman. Nar comes all the way back to the defensive side of the field for UNOH, and now she'll try to run away from Savannah Porter of Taylor. Into space and Schuler. Massey in front, pass between the legs. Williams will step over, and she'll allow Engelkest to scoop it up inside the box. 26-25 and counting remaining here in half number one. Taylor 0, Northwestern Ohio 0 as well. Stefan Stotts here to the far side of the field now. UNOH trying to connect with their forward Nar again, deflected away from her. Torin tried to slice it on through to Lehman. One touch off to Tevens. She's got Zare in front. A little low pass, then somehow Zare will poke it back to the trailing Davis. Pass in the middle of the field, knocked down by Kazanave. Davis muscles her way through to the end line. It goes off the flag and then will bounce out. It will go off into who? It'll be a throw-in near side, a late call. And then our head referee, John Miller, will come in and discuss things here with our near side official. It was initially kicked off towards the end line. It deflected off the flag in the near side corner and then curled towards our side of the flag on the off the near sideline. And so it's going to be a deep throw in here for TU instead of what would have been, it looked like potentially, their first corner of the night. And so Porter, the senior captain from California, will back all the way onto the concrete and throw it in. It's headed right back to her. She's got plenty of room to work now. A defender comes out. She'll volley this one in. Cutting in is Tevens, who tried to head it on as she just stepped right in front of the keeper, Canto. It's headed across the end line, and it will be a goal kick for UNOH, but Taylor applying really good pressure here on their first two shots of the evening. Both have been excellent scoring chances. They're one shot behind UNOH in total, but their two opportunities tonight have been almost spectacular. Torin to Lehman, then taken right away by Kazanave, the captain for UNOH, but her pass deflected away by TU's Massey. Torin knocked down from behind by Kazanave, and that's a foul against the Racer captain. First foul of the evening for UNOH. And Riley Massey, the freshman defender out of Ohio, will take the free kick 4 yards inside midfield. Taylor attacks the goal to our right. They're in white. UNOH in black. A good drive from Massey towards the top of the 18. Torin knocks Kazanave back, and Kazanave looks for a foul on the person that she just committed a foul against. Waltz has it bounce awkwardly off of her foot. Now Williams, a left-footed boot forward, headed back over to where it came from by Ellen Sandstrom, the Swedish defender. Williams, one high into the air. This one deflected towards the middle. Tevens won't be able to get to it in time. And scooping it up will be Jackie Gardner, the Buckeye native. Into space in Schuler. Davis marking her for Taylor. Kazanave at midfield. Lehman right on her back. Kazanave steps through. To Nar, then back to Kazanave. Massey will poke the ball away for TU. To midfield, and here's Zare with plenty of room to work. She's got Tevens cutting in front to her left. She's got Lehman directly to her left. She'll give it off to Lehman, who's got good distance. Volley to the near side. Tevens can't get to it. Davis with that long frame will hustle after it and hold it on the near sideline. So right foot one back to the midfielder, Danielle Torin. A left-footed pass in the middle, and Claddy. She wants to dial up from long distance, but it's caught by Canto on Canto's first save of the evening. Schwolst now at midfield, ready to go back in. Gladdy gets it from Lehman. Just space and Hannah Waltz. And then the freshman Massey will carry across midfield for TU. No one pressuring her for UNOH. So drive it off of Casanave, who blocked the pass. Lehman to Gladdy, tried to give it back to Lehman, intercepted by Rabot. Zaire almost was able to poke the pass, the ball away from Millie Hawkins, the New Zealander. And then the Kiwi has her pass blocked, this time by Zaire. 21-42 in this scoreless first half remains. Well, it's been a fun opening almost 25 minutes here so far. Waltz will step in front of the pass, headed out. As Schwolst will continue to kick her legs out and try to get loose down below us. Canto to Casanave. She couldn't control it. Davis driving it forward. Then a good curling pass there from Jackie Gardner up to Schuler. And Davis able to hold this one in for TU. Fighting for position, kicked away by Casanave of UNOH. And Taylor will throw it in from their near sideline. Rebecca Schwolst in, she replaces Hannah Waltz. And now Massey will throw it in from the near side of the field for TU. To Zaire. Goes off of her elbow. And there's the call. Bounced up and hit the inside part of her elbow. And tried to keep playing anyway. It was a close call, and here comes UNOH trying to clear. Emma Walsh and Ali Claudio getting loose on the near side for TU. UNOH with the ball in their offensive half for the first time in a long while. A centering pass could not find the feet of Ketsaya Nar, and it's scooped up by the Taylor keeper, Ingelkess. The drop kick will sail out of bounds, and UNOH will throw it in from their far side of the field. Alex Rodier getting loose for UNOH on the near side. She'll be the first sub of the evening for the visitors. Ajiman. Her long pass stepped in front of by Massey of Taylor. Casanave sweeping it into Nar. Laying it back to Schuler. Changing the path, and then Savannah Porter leaps into the air and will deflect it out of bounds. 18:40 remaining here in half number one. No score between Taylor and number 3 Northwestern Ohio. Schuler to the top of the box. And Stefan Statier sent away. We've already seen Tevens get loose on the near sideline. She'll just knock this one out of bounds as she and Zaire were trying to work step for step. Davis steps in front for Taylor. Heading it down, still loose, swept around. In a tight area here as Casanave comes out with it. Schuler trying to curl one into Nar as Porter marks her. Nar back to Schuler, one-touch pass. Williams tried to clear, deflected off of a UNOH player, still loose on the near side before Porter will drive this one up towards midfield. And Ajiman will let this one bounce out of play. It'll be a UNOH throw-in from the near side. Schuler got her head on it, but it's rolled out of bounds, so Massey will throw it in for Taylor. A deep heave into the defensive half. And then the Racers will set up shop from the far side of the field with Millie Hawkins out of New Zealand. Lehman shadowing her. Sun setting behind us to our left. We're scoreless here with 17-14 remaining in half number 1 between Taylor and number 3 Northwestern Ohio. Uzin got her toe on it for a moment, and then UNOH can't complete the short passes. And it'll be another Taylor throw-in. Forward subs here for TU. The starters Zaire, along with Tevens, check out. Emma Walsh, the sophomore, in for TU. She's from Glen Ellen, Illinois. And making her first collegiate appearance is Ali Claudio, 5'7" freshman from Carmel, Indiana. So Claudio checks in. Played for one of the top academies in Indianapolis, Karam Deo Academy. So classmate Claudia tries to control it for TU and does. Maddie Gilliam, a senior, also ready to come in as well. We've seen her brother Cole the last couple of evenings, starting for the Taylor men's soccer team. No score, almost a quarter hour remaining here in the opening half. A little pass into space could be trouble for Taylor. A rising shot with a right foot will sail over the crossbar. That from number 9, Agnes Stefanstier. Fourth shot of the night for UNOH. Taylor with 3. A couple of good opportunities for both sides here this evening. Taylor has come eerily close to getting the first goal of the evening. And a good little setup there as Stefanstier was wide open at the top of the box. Just got a little bit too far underneath that ball and sent it flying over the crossbar and wide to the right. Now the loose ball pops into space. Claudio will scoop it up and say thank you very much. She's got Davis in room on the near side and she'll get it to her. Davis carrying just outside the box, right side to the end line, still going with it, stops, overruns it, comes back, she'll sweep it beautifully, slicing one through, with that one kicked out of there by the UNOHD. It looked like Ellen Sandstrom got her foot on it as Davis had some fancy footwork on the near side. And now here's Nahr running away from 2 defenders, her long dribble too far, and easily Porter will get it out of there for Taylor. Davis steps in front and protects her face with her hands, and she's called for the handball. Ball was right, pass was right there in front of her. Tried to dodge out of the way, but got her hands on it. She's trying to protect the face. So Ajiman will take this from the near sideline. A free kick just in front of the TU bench. A short play to Iris Rabot. Gardner to Schuler. And now Massey will mark her. Davis helping from behind. Massey got it caught on the hands. It looked like it might have been a handball for a moment. And a shot wide right by Stefanstier. And here's Maddie Gilliam, one of the Taylor seniors. Zaire and Tevens, the 2 starting forwards, down there talking things over with Taylor head coach Scott Stan. And here's Alex Rodier checking in to replace the starting forward, Katsaya Nahr. Williams will drive a left foot out of there. Claudio hustling after it, knocking it down. Volleyed away from her by the defender, Ajiman, out of Ghana for UNOH. She'll sail this one deep. And Riley Massey watches it bounce over her head. She'll throw it in from Taylor's defensive half. Less than 13 minutes remaining here in half number 1, no score. But both teams with some good opportunities here early on. Casanave to Gardner, who gets it back from Schuler. Massey marking her. Porter will spin and kick that ball high into the air. And then Gilliam has it go off of her elbow as it bounces off the turf. And this free kick upcoming for UNOH is going to be from 28 yards out. An immediate four-woman wall set up by the Trojans. From left to right, it will be Davis, Gilliam, Walsh, and Torrin. Now Engelkess will direct them where they want to go. They'll have a UNOH player bracketing them on either side. To our left will be Rabot. To our right will be Schuler. Casanave, the lefty, sets up. She's 28 yards out. No score, less than 12 to go in the opening half. She'll play it short. Schuler got it caught between her feet. Back to Casanave, whose shot is well wide right of the frame. A cheeky little play there from UNOH as Casanave played it short. Stepping forward was Schuler, who was on our right, her left of that four-woman wall set up by Taylor. She tried to dink it back to Casanave, but when she tried to lay it back, the ball got tangled between her feet, and it wasn't as clean of a play as UNOH might have liked. Deflection out of bounds by Northwestern Ohio. Schwartz will throw it in for TU. A beautiful evening. Temperatures in the mid-70s at most. It's the start of tonight's contest. All that rain that came through yesterday has been hot the last few days. It's going to be beautiful here for the next 3 before the heat kicks back in on Saturday and Sunday. Porter boots it up towards midfield, just a little bit too far for Gilliam to reach to it. And a nice little play by Walsh as she came darting in. Walsh, 5 feet 2 inches tall, but she's one of those players that's very springy. She'll be able to win a couple headers that you would expect a player at that stature to be able to come down with. Long pass curled to her on the near side. She'll try and turn and head up the right side of the field. She'll work her way back to the middle, into space, and Clatty. Her long pass, though, too far behind Claudio, and it'll be a UNOH timed opportunity for the Racers to try and clear. Uzin spinning away from trouble. Porter right in her grill, step for step. Back to Rabot. Long shot, deflected, and easily snagged by Engelkess inside the box. Shot number 6 on the evening here for UNOH. And we've dipped below 10 minutes remaining here in half number 1. Still no score to speak of, but an exciting first half here nonetheless. Curl to the near side, right to the feet of Taylor's Hannah Davis. She's got Walsh to her right. She'll push it up to her. Walsh lets it roll in front. She's got a defender bearing down on behind. Walsh will rotate near the near sideline. Gardner trying to force her out of bounds. Walsh turning over that left shoulder, or that right shoulder, excuse me. And it's cleared out of there by Donna Schuler. Stefan Stotzier, her pass intercepted by Schwolst. And Claudio has that one taken away. It goes out of bounds. Williams will control the throw-in near midfield. Here's Clatty. Into space, nobody there, so Torrin will go after it on a jog. Torrin eludes Schuler. Pass will be stepped in front of and intercepted. Here comes UNOH the other way with Eileen Uzin. Into space and Schuler. Massey hustling back. She'll jog in front. Curling shot. Engelkess with a two-handed snag. First or second save of the night there for Engelkess. None have been particularly dangerous as we approach 8 minutes remaining here in half number 1. Porter up the near side looking for someone to dish it off to. Threads one through, but the only ones there are those wearing black of UNOH. And now Clatty will step in front, but her pass off target intended for Walsh. Claudio in there as well. There's Ajiman passing back and forth with Gardner on the near side of the field. It almost got away from the two Racer defenders with Walsh hovering around. Rabeau takes it across midfield. Soft pass into space where Hawkins will scoop it up. The deflection out of bounds off of TU. And a quick throw in from Northwestern Ohio on the far sideline. Stefan Stottier spins in. Claudio knocks it down twice and into space where she'll find the senior Maddie Gilliam. Gilliam into space, and she'll let Hannah Davis go for a run with it. Davis dribbling forward. No defenders collapse on her yet. She'll slip one through to the top. Gilliam trying to force it in. She's alone momentarily and then just sent out of there by Iris Rabeau before a Taylor player could get her foot on it. That took a Taylor bounce in the most beautiful way possible, just squirted on through there. Both Gilliam and it looks like Claudio were up there for the Trojans in that area, but just throwing the side of her right foot in there was Iris Rabeau. And another golden opportunity for Taylor nullified here. That's their third scoring chance of the evening. Just about 6 minutes remaining here in half one. No scores. Porter throws it in. Loose in the box. Cleared away by the right foot of Casanave. Claddy will hold it in. Claudio trying to knock it out. UNOH couldn't clear it cleanly. They were able to get it out there on the second try. Williams shoulders her way in and muscles it in for TU. Walsh, a little touch into space to Davis. And she's got Gardner in front of her. Davis has shown some fancy footwork once tonight. Will slip it on through the give and go to the end line from Gilliam. Davis will try to get to it, but it takes one revolution across the end line. And a goal kick upcoming here for UNOH. Canto, the keeper, clad in neon yellow. Those are the jersey and socks for her. A low curling kick to the near side. And Schuler. Up near midfield, Massey will keep it in play. A long pass will connect with Gilliam, who shoved from behind. Taylor looks for a foul. They won't get it. As Casanave will drive it in deep, but there's Savannah Porter for TU. Long pass goes off the jumping knees of Donna Schuler and out in front of the UNOH bench. And Massey will throw it in for Taylor. No score between the Trojans and the third-ranked Racers with 4:30 remaining here in half number one. It's the season opener for both teams. And Taylor has come out not blinking once with the national semifinalist here on their home field to start the season. Remember, they played number 5 Columbia really tough a year ago, losing 1-0 on a goal that kind of just took a Columbia bounce. And Taylor was unable to find one to the back of the net. Their offense has shown moments of brilliance here tonight, just have not been able to get one past Canto, who has one save tonight. Same thing for Engelkes. Loose ball up on the near side of the field. Porter will watch it roll across the end line. That's a goal kick upcoming for Taylor's Lauren Engelkes. 3:45 remaining here in half one, no score. But an exciting first half here nonetheless. A right-footed drive from Engelkes. Pinballs around a little bit. And down at the feet of Eileen Uzen. Long right-footed shot. Engelkes tracks. She'll catch it in front of the line by Stefan Stottier. So second save of the night there for Engelkes. She has not really been tested that much this evening. Taylor has had arguably the better chances here this evening. They just haven't really been able to get one on frame much at all. Claudio off of her foot and back up towards midfield. Davis will throw it in near at midfield to Claudio. Directed back out to Davis. Out of bounds, and Hannah will throw it in once again with 2.5 minutes remaining in half one. Davis into Gilliam. Bouncing off of defenders. Torn back to Porter, who can create from the back. Porter slices one, pinpoint accuracy to her classmate senior Maddie Gilliam. Torn in deep. Walsh will give a run after this one. And she'll check up as it will sail over everyone's head and roll out of bounds. Another goal kick up coming here with 2 minutes remaining here in half one for UNOH. A pass to the far side, and it will be controlled by Millie Hawkins of Northwestern Ohio. Gardner on the near sideline. Davis circling around here. The errant pass is Massey's of Taylor. She'll beat that one forward. Rabot now up for UNOH near midfield. Then in the space they'll find Casanave, who's been able to create a little bit here tonight. Slipping on through to Uzin. As Porter takes it away, now up to Gilliam. Between the legs now, here's Porter with an opportunity to go for a run. Porter will drive it deep. Claudio foot race with Hawkins. Claudio the first one there. She'll look to cross from the left wing. Curling one in, headed up. Could it find Gilliam's feet on the back end? It does. Now slipping through to Davis. She'll step in for a right-footed shot that's knocked away, and this one will go over the near sideline as it's cleared away by the All-American Ajiman. 48 seconds left in the first half. Davis will allow Porter to sprint in from near the midline and throw it in for Taylor. Savannah will get to it. She'll have probably 33 seconds when this ball leaves her hands. Almost right on the nose. Shoving in the box. Taylor looks for a foul. They won't get one as Torin was shoved in the back and went sprawling near the end line. Taylor looks for the foul. If it happened in the box, it would have been a penalty kick for TU. Instead, a play on is called. The throw-in was easily snagged by Canto, the UNOH keeper. 12 seconds left to go in half one. One last push here from the Racers. They played a lot of defense here in the last few moments. Now 5, now 4. Porter gets her foot on it with 3. And that will be how the first half will come to a close. A real exciting 45 minutes here from Turner Stadium. And we are scoreless between number 3 Northwestern Ohio and the Taylor University Trojans here in the opening contest for both teams here this season. We're back with the BSN Sports Halftime Report after this commercial break here on the Trojan Sports Network.
The decision you're making is about so much more than spend the next 4 years. It's about how you live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on Scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know that God is not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let the small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel. Boy, do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experiences. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit. Sit in on a class. Go to chapel. Spend a night in the residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree. And we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones Financial Advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners at Taylor University Athletics.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Your heart, your heart is everything to you and your body. At its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular department in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100 all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
Our BSN Sports halftime report as our second half gets underway looks like this. Taylor outshot in the first half 9-4. 2 shots on goal for UNOH, 1 shot on goal for TU. We are scoreless after 45 minutes. The TU men's soccer team is down to our right. They are here in full force. They've been loud. They have been proud on a really packed house here tonight. With school not even starting until next Tuesday. Move-in day is Friday for everybody here. For everyone else that's not a fall athlete here on the Upland campus. Textbooks delivered tomorrow as part of that Textbook Butler program from one of our sponsors, the Taylor Bookstore, and our friends at the Tree of Life Bookstore. That Textbook Butler delivery being shipped out tomorrow, which the men's soccer team will be helping with, actually. So the boys and head coach Gary Ross will be out there delivering the books to the dorm rooms. They're hoping to do so with a little extra juice after Taylor trying to come in and pull off the upset of number 3 Northwestern Ohio tonight. Stevens and Zaire, who came out for Claudio and Walsh, the handful of minutes, about 10-15 minutes left in that first half, are back out here starting the first half for TU at the forward spot. And Ketsaya Nar back out there as the starting forward here for UNOH. So everybody else in their regular starting position here to start half number 2. As Calvani back out there for TU along with Waltz. Claddy, Zaire, little back heel kick into space. Lehman couldn't get there in time, and UNOH will send this one back to Taylor's defensive half. The Trojans clad in white, UNOH in black with white numbers. Taylor's numbers are purple, trimmed in gold as they attack the goal to our left 2 minutes into the second half. Lehman stepping forward with it on the right side of the field, attacking the goal to our left. Slipping one through to Zaire, too hot for her to handle. It rolls across the end line. That's going to be a goal kick for Cindy Canto for UNOH. And Canto will actually allow the All-American defender, Kate Ajiman from Ghana, to take this goal kick. She'll curl that orange soccer ball to the far side. And then Torn will throw it in for TU right to Calvani. She'll play it over her head, but it'll sail out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in here for UNOH. Nar being marked by Porter. Her pass to the center will be found by Porter all the way up to midfield and Zaire. Back to the midfielder and Lehman. Will try to set everything up. She'll drive this one to the far sideline where Calvani will send it back to the middle. Be tangled at the feet of Sandstrom from Sweden. And then back out to Nar on the far sideline. To Sandstrom. And back to Ajiman, excuse me. It'll go off of Calvani as Ajiman was carrying up that far sideline. And she throws it into Schuler. To the middle of the field and Rabot. Looking forward, and she'll find the cutting Uzin. But Williams will step in front for Taylor. Claddy, Waltz for Taylor. And then Warina Williams. Up to Stevens. Into space and Waltz. Currently into Zaire. Then back to Lehman with plenty of room to work here. She's got Calvani cutting to the right. She'll stop and knock that ball down with Gardner marking her. Calvani looping one in to Lehman. Ajiman defending her. Then back to Calvani. Tried to find Zaire. That one booted out of there by the UNOH captain, Kazanov. I apologize for putting the A on the end of that in the first half. So that's Julie Kazanov out of France. Pass to the middle, the top of the box. Porter heads it away before Nar could get a handle on it. Step through move from Rabot. Stefan Stotts here to the end line and a foot race with Williams. It stays in, and Reyna will scoop it up for TU. And then Williams will be pulled from behind. Second foul whistled here against UNOH. And Taylor will have the goal kick, or the free kick, excuse me, from deep in the defensive half. 5 minutes gone here at half two, no score. And Waltz will send this one up towards midfield. It goes off the back of the head of Jordan Lehman. And UNOH will try to carry it forward. Hawkins angling into her left. A pass between the legs finds Nar. Then to the top of the box in Schuler. Savannah Porter marking her back to Nar. A high looping shot. That one will sail out of here as Taylor has made the goal switch, or the change in goal that we talked about with head coach Scott Stan. The sophomore Megan Williams out of Fishers, Indiana, gets the start here, replacing Lauren Engelkess here in the second half. And then when TU is at Cincinnati Christian coming up on Saturday, Williams will get the start in the first half then, and then Engelkess will come in the second half as Taylor tries to solidify who their starting goalkeeper will be. Lauren Camerano, the junior from Massachusetts, also a strong player as well, like she traditionally does on game days. Where's that Tom Brady jersey? We saw her on campus today. Here's Tevens, left side, Ajiman marking her. Tevens, the freshman, to the end line, could not cross it, couldn't get there in time. And it rolls across the end line before Tevens could do anything with it. A goal kick here for Ajiman in Northwestern Ohio. Still scoreless. Just about 6.5 minutes in here to half two. Nar trying to get away from the freshman Massey. Then she'll lay it all the way back to Schuler, who dumps it back to Gardner. Torin, left footing one into space. Tevens accelerates and gets it. Now she's got Waltz up into her left. The junior defender hustling after it. Into the near side corner. Waltz looking to cross. She'll deflect this one off of Sandstrom. And it'll stay here with Taylor. Will it be a corner or will it be a throw-in? It'll be the throw-in here for Waltz. Short throw to the double team Lehman. Comes back to Zaire. Now Waltz will curl this one wide left of frame. Second shot of the night for Waltz. Fifth one for Taylor. First one of the second half. Still 0-0 here with less than 37.5 minutes remaining in half number two. It's the season opener for both teams. A cool evening here in Upland, Indiana tonight. Temperature right at 71 degrees, but with that sun setting behind us, it's going to get quite chilly here before the end of our festivities here this evening. Nar tried to spin away with it. The ball worked right to the feet of Porter for TU. Schuler, pass into space, and Porter drives this one out of trouble. Tevens to Zaire. Tried to play it back. Ball deflected momentarily. Rabot tried to push it forward, and then the ball will find the feet of Taylor's Emily Calvani. Now to Zaire on the right wing. Being chased down by Gardner. Zaire a little stop and start to the end line, curling it in. That one knocked away, still loose, and then it's cleared out of trouble by the captain, Kazanov, here for UNOH. Tevens went storming in. It was just off of her. Cantor was the one that poked it away, and Lehman was right there, but then it was kicked away by Kazanov. And a corner upcoming here for TU. It'll be the first one of the night as Jordan Lehman will take this one from the near side. First set piece on the corner. Lehman to Zaire, then she gives it right back to Lehman. The sophomore shoved from behind, able to get back to her feet. Shoved by Uzin, who was looking for a handball. It was deflected out off of Uzin, and now Lehman will have another corner, the second one of the night for TU. So Lehman with that dominant right foot can play an in-swinging ball here. And that's what she'll do. Massey goes over her head, volleyed into the air by UNOH. Waltz will kill it 10 yards outside the box. Lehman tried to curl it away and does. To the middle. Ajiman got a piece of it. And then UNOH clears it back to the wide open spaces where Massey will track it down for TU. Calvani curling it in. Ajiman will send it out of there momentarily. Claddy volleying it back in. It goes over Tevens' head. As Ajiman again tries to clear for Northwestern Ohio. 10 minutes into the second half, best offensive opportunity here since halftime for Taylor just came a few moments ago. Massey all the way up to Calvani. Then Calvani runs through Kazanov. She comes back to check on it and make she's okay. Good sportsmanship there by the Taylor senior. Second foul against TU tonight. And a free kick upcoming here for Northwestern Ohio. Kazanov, a left-footed pass. Calvani pokes it away for TU, but it ends up finding the feet of Kazanov. Centering ball, Williams just got her head on for Taylor. It bounces to the near side, Waltz accelerating. She will keep it in, and this one will stay in here by UNOH. Rabot got a piece of it, and now Uzin will throw it in. She gets it back from Rabot. Centering ball. Porter will poke this one into the air, back up to the middle of the field. Calvani a header into space. Lehman tried to catch it or snag it in stride, could not. And there comes Uzin once again for UNOH. Lehman will poke it away right to Zaire. An expertly placed poke there from Lehman as she took the ball away from Stefan Stier. Stefan Stottier, excuse me. A quick restart here. And then a trip will take Schuler down as Torin put that foot out there and Schuler tripped right over it. Second foul against Taylor here in the half, third one in the game. And a free kick from 6 yards outside the box here for Northwestern Ohio. They have 3 players standing over the top of it. Kazanov, their captain, one of the ones now over it. She'll dink it over, then Kazanov gets it back, and it's blocked out of there by the Taylor wall. Kazanov played to Rabot, who played it right back to the captain, Kazanov. And the Taylor wall stepped in and thwarted that shot out of there. Lehman into space. Zaire trying to get to it. Poking it free. Kazanov right there. Out of bounds to whom? To back to Northwestern Ohio. Hawkins to Kazanov. Then all the way to the far side of the field and the Ohio native Jackie Gardner. Northwestern Ohio has won the last 4 Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference regular season titles. They've made the national tournament the last 5 years. They were a national semifinalist a year ago, the national champs back in 2016. Centering pass headed out of there by Danielle Torin for TU. And then here's Rabot in the middle of the field. To the near side flank, and Hawkins into the box. Porter provides the shield, and Williams will easily snag this one with 2 arms. Then Williams will punt this one well across midfield. It's the ground as Kazanov will send it back. Williams pops it into the air. Tevens trying to kill it down to the floor. Calvani, right wing, stopping and starting, trying to get around Gardner. Has a little bit of an edge as she tries to turn the corner. She'll back off near the end line. A centering pass that went off the feet of Gardner. And Ajiman will send it out of there. A playback from Nar. Intercepted by Torin. She'll curl one around a defender to Lehman. Now she'll retreat back towards midfield and Claddy. To her classmate, freshman Aaron Tevens out of Wheaton Academy. Trying to head to the end line. She'll curl this one in. There's Bailey Zaire knocking it down, and just getting a hand on it was Canto, the keeper for Northwestern Ohio. Tevens played a beautiful ball with that left foot from the end line, and it looked like Bailey Zaire was going to just easily knock that one in, and just getting her fingertips on it was Canto for her best save of the night so far. Taylor's been knocking on the door. They're trying to kick the door down here. 15 minutes into the second half and knock off the number 3 team in the country. And a pass in right out of bounds. And Waltz will throw it in for Taylor. The Trojans have almost 30 players on their roster. Northwestern Ohio with only 3 subs. Tevens tried to get fancy, then the defender fell down. Tevens got it to Zaire, then back to Lehman. She'll work it across to the right side of the field, and Torrin looking forward into space to let Calvani go chase after it. As Gardner marks her. To the corner, Calvani will chase, trying to work it back to her left. She's shoved down. Both players go down, and they call the foul against Calvani of Taylor. Fourth foul against Taylor. As there is a packed house here tonight. Fans continue to file in here. Those students, mostly fall sport athletes, who have already had the opportunity to move in since fall camps have started. But some other folks have moved in as well. There's a packed house here tonight to watch Taylor, the women's soccer team, take on the 3rd-ranked Northwestern Ohio Racers. Massey heads it over to Torn, stepping in front of the pass. And Kazanov intercepts, deflected in. Williams will let it come to her, and she snatches it right before Eileen Uzen can make a play on frame. Waltz will beat it deep. Tevens with some good wheels. Ajiman cuts her off. This ball rolling to the end line, and Ajiman will let it roll across. And more likely than not, she'll probably take this goal kick here for Northwestern Ohio. Ajiman will play it forward. Waltz got in position to get it. It was just ticked away from her. Williams with Nahr on her back. Will turn and play it to Porter inside the box. Calvani back to Massey, who skies this one across midfield. Zare trying to knock it down to herself, deflected it to the feet of Kazanov. Then Hawkins will deal it to Rabeau. Rabeau passing it deep. Needs to connect with Uzen. The pass knocked out of there by Raina Williams, but it goes across the end line, and this will be the first corner of the night here for Northwestern Ohio. No corners in the first half. We will now have 3 here in the second half, with the first one coming here for the Racers. It'll be the captain, Julie Kazanov, out of France, to take this one. She has Uzen standing nearby, Lehman marking her. Kazanov, a left foot, she'll play it in. A low in-swinging ball, knocked around and then cleared out of trouble by Claddy for Taylor. Still at the top of the box. This one deflected in. Williams will dive and stop on it as Sandstrom tried to get that one in from just outside the box. Williams gets her first save of the night, and the score still 0-0 as that one was deflected and then looked to be going towards the near side part of the goal. Massey near midfield to Calvani. Then Zaire tried to sweep it up to Tevens. And then Ajiman back to the near side of the field where Hawkins will go for a run with it. Hawkins out of Point Wells, New Zealand. The Kiwi gives it off to Iris Rabeau out of France. Kazanov has it taken away by TU's Danielle Torrin. And Calvani will scoop up the loose ball. She just steps across midfield. Back to Torrin. Pass was blocked. And then Porter will step in and steal it for TU. Hustling across. Her pass knocked away, intended for Zaire. And now UNOH will play this one all the way back. Just outside the box is where Kanta will take it, and she'll dump it back to the near side and Millie Hawkins. Claddy has her jersey almost yanked completely off A whole handful of jersey tugged that jersey all the way back, and now time is called. And a warning looks is going to be issued here. Oh no, it's actually, is it an earring or something? It looks like it's the earring of number 12, or number 9, excuse me, Agnes Steffenstatier. Hawkins to the near sideline, Torrin marking her, then Hawkins will accelerate, and the ball rolls out of bounds. Alex Rodier looks to come in here to replace Steffenstatier. But right now, UNOH playing one woman down. Good pass on through. Tevens will be the first one to it. Will circle back to her left and play it back up the near sideline to Waltz. Waltz with plenty of room. Curling one in there, Zaire. It's kicked high into the air, still loose. Lehman trying to knock it down in the box. It was a Taylor screaming for a handball. It's waved off by head referee John Miller, as it looked like the UNOH defender knocked it down with a free hand in the box. That would have resulted in a penalty kick for TU. The second time the Trojans thought they would have had a penalty kick tonight. They had a foul in the box that they did not receive in the first half. And now would look to be a handball here in the box against UNOH in the second half. Still has kept them with no penalty kicks here so far tonight. Zaire trying to poke it along to the middle of the field. Couldn't get her right foot onto it. And now Northwestern Ohio will try to clear with Eileen Uzin. Reese Rabot, Lehman trying to muscle against the junior Kazanov. Big right foot from the All-American Ajiman, sophomore out of Ghana. So Northwestern Ohio still playing with a woman down here, as a sub Rodier still waiting to come in here at midfield. She has not been signaled in yet from UNOH, from our head official John Miller. And this one rolls out, so Taylor still trying to take advantage here. They have a player advantage here, up 10-9. Calvani bowls through a defender. And now they'll give Calvani the yellow card here with 22:34 left in the second half. So Calvani ran through the defender. There was not really any time for Calvani to try to avoid her. She tried to pick up the defender and showed no ill will. But 9 and white still issued with the yellow card. That's our first card here of the evening. 22 and a half minutes remaining in regulation. Still no score between Taylor and number 3 Northwestern Ohio. Williams will step in front of a pass. She'll boot this one to the athletic training tent. And now Alex Rodier will come in for UNOH and get both sides back to 10 players. Pass was too hot to handle here for Northwestern Ohio. It goes out, and Taylor will throw it in from along the near sideline with Hannah Waltz. Nard quickly swinging it far side to Schuler. Knocked away by the shoulder of Taylor's defender, Massey. Kazanov fakes the shot from long range. Uzin sweeping into Hawkins on the right wing. Top of the box to Nard, tried to bicycle it in. Couldn't get a clean touch, and now it's cleared all the way up to Tevens at midfield, and she's got wheels for days. Tevens to Zaire, tried to sweep it on through to the cutting Calvani, but waiting right for it was Ajiman of UNOH. That would have given Calvani a clear path in from the right wing. Instead, Northwestern Ohio will reset things in the defensive half. Lehman marks Hawkins, then back to Sandstrom. Zaire right there with her step for step. Little pop to the middle. Uzin there. And back in, hustling after it will be Rodier and Williams. It rolls out of bounds across the end line, and the goal kick here for Megan Williams, MTU. Hannah Davis checks in. She replaces Jordan Lehman. Davis, the 5'5 junior from Big Rapids, Michigan. Well, Taylor going to only 2 forwards here this season, at least for tonight. They moved Davis to the wing from a midfield position. So still an opportunity for her to create from the outside where she did as a forward in her first 2 seasons, but being a little bit farther back of a run here near midfield. And also having to play a little more defense. Hawkins carrying in for Northwestern Ohio, a scoreless game with less than 20 minutes remaining in regulation. Centering ball. Right there is Torin for TU. She'll knock it away from Nair. Held in by Kaznov. Long-range left-footed shot. Easily snagged on the bouncing ball by Williams. Second save for Megan Williams tonight. All 4 shots on goal have been stopped by the 2 Taylor keepers, the starter Engelkess and the reserve Williams. And all 3 shots on goal by TU have been stopped by the keeper Canto. As Calvani whistled for the foul near midfield. A free kick upcoming for Northwestern Ohio. Gardner has it taken away from her. Tevens trying to give it up to Zaire, and now Zaire on a run. She'll try to angle away from Ajiman. Just outside the box, Zaire a rising shot, and that one's in! Bailey Zaire, with just over 19 minutes remaining in regulation, strikes from deep and gives Taylor a 1-0 lead over number 3 Northwestern Ohio. A beautiful ball set up from the defensive half, and then Zaire bombs one in from just outside 20 yards, and the senior has given Taylor a 1-0 lead with 19:08 remaining in the second half. So this place comes unglued as Zaire scores in the 72nd minute. And Taylor has last year's national semifinalists down 1-0 here with just over 19 minutes remaining here in the second half. Zaire, the leading returning scorer from a year ago. Bailey had 12 goals last season, the only Trojan, along with Nikki Zano, to score double-figure goals. She led them in that category. She scores the first one of the season. Now Davis wants to go from long range, and that one easily snagged by Canto for her 4th save. But it's a 1-0 lead for Taylor over number 3 Northwestern Ohio. Claddy will work it all the way back to Porter. And here's Massey on the far side. Into space here with Waltz. Little touch to Zaire. She falls back into a little bit more of what looks like a little midfield position here. Now she'll walk up along with Tevens at a forward spot. Torin gets fancy with the footwork, and then Calvani will bash it deep to Massey. Claddy to Torin at midfield. And a right-footed smash to the end line. Davis hustling after with Gardner. She won't get to it in time. It rolls across and will be a goal kick here for Northwestern Ohio. Just 3 players returned for the Racers from last year's national semifinal squad that went 23-1. They're also led by first-year head coach Jen DeVerix, who's been an assistant for UNOH for the last 5 years. So she's been there the last 5 years they've made the national tournament. Only 1 American by birth on the roster for Northwestern Ohio. And with only 3 players returning from a year ago, Northwestern Ohio trying to figure things out here in this first contest, and Taylor trying to get their offense figured out. They bring back their leading returning scorer, but the number 2 scorer, as we mentioned, Zano graduated, and her counterpart up there at the midfield, and Megan Kammer, graduated in May as well. Taylor only lost 3 seniors, Zano, Kammer, and Fredrickson. The camera last year, 6 goals and 5 assists. Zaire exits to a rousing ovation from the fans down below us as the freshman Ali Claudio comes in to replace her. Little touch into the box, and a foul called here against Taylor as Eileen Uzin went for a spill 10 yards outside the box, screamed for the foul and got it as she was plastered down to the turf. 5th foul against Taylor here tonight. And now a good set piece opportunity here for Northwestern Ohio, down by 1 with 16 minutes remaining here in the opening or the second half. 4-woman wall for the Trojans. Rabeau standing over it. She has Kazanov set to her right. Kazanov, a natural lefty. They'll dink it back to Kazanov, back to Rabeau. Skirling in. Williams will snag it on the right post. 3rd save for Megan Williams tonight. And good pressure there by Emily Calvani to make life hectic for Aris Rabeau, the right-footed player from France. Ball bouncing around near midfield. Davis will get onto it. Torin has it. Will sweep it forward to Claudio. Then back to Claddy. Waltz let it roll by, but wanted to hesitate to see if she had to get back on defense. Rodier couldn't get to it, but it rolled past both players and out of play. 15 minutes left in regulation, the opening game for both teams. Taylor leading number 3 Northwestern Ohio 1-0. Waltz will curl it up. There's Stevens. Double team comes, still trying to get loose with it. Sandstrom will keep it away from her. And that one driven back up by Sandstrom. Williams will head it back down for Taylor, but right to the feet of Stefan Stautier. Nair, the starting forward for UNOH, has been pulled for a reserve. That reserve hustling after it is number 14, Alex Rodier. And it goes out. Taylor will bring back in Jordan Lehman to spell Calvani. So Calvani gets a much-deserved round of applause. Waltz will throw this one in, but a lot more pressure back here in Taylor's defensive half applied by UNOH. Uzin playing it back. Lehman marks up Rodier. She'll get it back near sideline. Little touch to Uzin. Claddy right there marking her. A pass into space. Torin will step in front and bash it up towards midfield. It goes over Sandstrom's head, but right at the All-American's feet is Katie Ajiman. 13:42 left in the second half. Taylor on top of number 3 Northwestern Ohio 1-0. Rodier hustling after it near side. She'll deflect this one off of Waltz across the end line, and it's a corner here for Northwestern Ohio. The Racers' second corner of the night, all coming here in the second half. And Kazanov, the natural lefty, will take it from the near side corner. That should allow her to play an in-swinging ball, which is exactly what she will do. To the middle of the box, headed straight into the air. Williams tracks into that one, sails over the crossbar and out. 10th shot of the evening here for Northwestern Ohio. They're down 1-0 to Taylor after Zaire scored in the 72nd minute. There's a diving stop by Williams on the other end. Her 4th save of the night, 6th stop by a Taylor keeper tonight. Comes with 12:30 left to go in half number 2. UNOH will play to the near side of the field. Hawkins standing right at that midline. Waltz marking her. And a ball into space. Rodier there at the end line with Waltz defending her. Then she'll just kick that one right away. And it's a slow roller out of bounds near sideline. A throw into Uzin. Double team comes. She lays it on back. A centering ball to the 18. Knocked around. Still loose inside the box. A foul is called. And they're going to call a foul against whom? Against Taylor. It's going to be a penalty kick here for Northwestern Ohio with 11:41 remaining here in this second half. And Northwestern Ohio down 1-0. They'll send the freshman from France, Aris Rabot, to the dot. Megan Williams in the goal for TU. Rabot approaches, right foot in, and that one's in the back of the net, and Northwestern Ohio ties our game at 1 with 11:41 left in regulation. So that goal comes in the 80th minute. And we'll see if Taylor can get their second goal of the night. A penalty kick from Rabot. Williams trying to win the ball back for TU. Back to the near side of the field is UNOH with Hawkins. Hawkins carrying forward. Waltz will now pick her up as she carries to the end line. Hawkins centers, easily intercepted by Williams. She'll curl this one up, but right to Rabot, who just tied our game at 1. Lehman knocks it down to the near side, and then Lehman shoved from behind, a foul against Northwestern Ohio. The Taylor faithful not happy with that foul in the box against the Trojans, which led to the equalizing penalty kick for UNOH. Emma Walsh and Becca Schwolst getting loose near midfield. Tevens trying to head it up. Knocked around by the Northwestern Ohio defense. Lehman couldn't get a clear pass off, and Stan Sandstrom will work it up to Rodier. Pass too far for Lehman to get to. Now here comes Rodier. Or Rabot, excuse me. Stefan Stottier to the corner. Waltz with a beat on it for TU. Pressure comes from behind. She'll let this one roll across the end line. 10:03 to go second half. A goal kick for Williams. As Schwolst and Emma Walsh come in for TU, they replace Waltz and Tevens. So the top two Taylor forwards get a breather here with about 9:50 remaining in regulation. It'll be Walsh, the sophomore, and Claudio, the freshman, the forwards up top for Taylor. Porter does a good job of boxing out the storming Eileen Usen, then cleared away by either Massey or Williams for TU. A throw in near sideline here for Northwestern Ohio. Hawkins will have the honor. That one to space near side, centering ball with the right foot. Headed out of there by Torn, right down to Usen. Cloudy making life difficult for her. They play it back to Hawkins. Does Northwestern Ohio into space. Another centering right-footed pass, but right to Taylor's Danielle Torn at the top of the box. Kazanov, a long shot, will go wide left. As Kazanov tried to connect, and now Taylor will bring back in the only goal scorer of the night for the Trojans, and Bailey Zaire. She replaces Claudia. .48 and counting here in regulation. 1-1 the score between Taylor and number 3 Northwestern Ohio. A play on is called after Schuler lost her footing. The double team comes, and then the Taylor player taken down after the pass was sent out of there. Here's Schwolst in open space for TU. A long pass. Walsh will redirect it to the middle. Comes back to try to win it back for TU. And here comes Northwestern Ohio in the middle. Rodier, pass too far. Williams will drive it forward with a left foot. Headed back to the middle of the field. Here's Walsh trying to pounce onto it. It's deflected down and right to Zaire. To the middle and Hannah Davis. 1-1 our score. 8 minutes left to go second half. But Kazanov cuts right in front of Davis. UNOH will clear it out to the near side of the field. It'll bounce out of bounds, and Taylor will have a throw-in. Trying to go back in front with a score tied at 1 with 7:45 remaining here in half number 2. Williams jogs over to the near sideline to take a swig of water. Has the ball all the way on the other end. Her defender mate, Savannah Porter, will back up to the concrete and throw it in. Bouncing at the feet of Schwartz, trying to turn it over to Davis. Could not. It's sent back to the near sideline. This one will bounce out of play, and Taylor will throw it in. Lauren Claddy, freshman from Valor Christian High School. But a couple good players come from that high school. One young lady will be playing basketball for us in the winter. Lehman keeps it away for TU to Torn at midfield, but it's poked off of her toe by Uzin. She has only white shirts in front, and now she'll wait for reinforcements. 6:54 left to go second half. Game tied at 1. Taylor scored the first goal of the night. Then a penalty kick from Northwestern Ohio was evened our score at 1 apiece. Uzin will hip check Claddy from behind and get whistled for the foul. Taylor came close 3 different times of scoring in the first half. We were scoreless after the first 45 minutes. And now the Trojans trying to go back on top once again and win this thing in regulation. Walsh will kick it back into space. Ajiman with a beat on it. Davis is right there on her back pocket. But Ajiman able to muscle Davis out of the way and allow that ball to roll out of bounds across the end line. Sandstrom will take this goal kick here for Northwestern Ohio. Canto has not taken a single goal kick here after halftime. Torrin heads it beautifully right up towards Walsh. Lehman almost able to steal that pass away. Here comes Rayna Williams to play it back across midfield for Taylor. Hawkins will hold for UNOH on the near side. She'll stop and assess the situation in front. A sidestep move from Rabot. Near side on the pass finds Rodier. And then Zaire and Walsh will both pounce, almost taken away from Rabot. They find the only American on the roster, Gardner, on the far side. And now Zaire is back down behind the play. Favoring that left leg just a little bit. But now she pops back to her feet. On the other end, Williams cutting in. She'll box out the charging Uzin and allow Williams to snag that bouncing ball in the box. And now time will be called with 5:03 remaining as Zaire pops back to her feet. First game of the season for either side. 1-1 our score, both goals coming 8 minutes apart. Zaire put Taylor on top 1-0 in the 72nd minute. And then Rabot tied it on a PK in the 80th minute. Foul called against the Racers. Taylor will have the free kick. The freshman Massey will take this one a yard outside midfield. A low burner, almost bounced all the way through. Davis will step in and try to turn over that left shoulder. It goes off of her foot and out of bounds far sideline as she was being hounded by Donna Schuler. 4.5 minutes remaining here in the second half. 1-1 our score between Taylor and number 3 Northwestern Ohio. A long ball in. Williams will play it back up to Torn, who works it in. And now Lehman will steal it away for TU. But she was hounded from behind by Kazanov, and the ball will go back to the Racers of UNOH. Torrin slips. Schuler still with it. Long shot, easily snagged by Williams. 5th save of the night for the sophomore keeper as she's come in here in the second half. Now here comes Schwartz, the senior. She's got her classmate Zara in front. She slips as she was backpedaling, and now UNOH will try to carry it out of the defensive end. And then Davis will be pushed from behind. It goes out of bounds and back to TU on a throw-in. So a free kick here for Taylor as we approach 3 minutes remaining here in half number 2. 1-1 our score. The senior Porter will take this one from the right side. Right foot into it. This one will carry into the box. Headed out to the near side in space. Claddy, the freshman, will hustle after it. She'll send it back in on a right-footed curler. And Cotto comes in there as everyone in white had to retreat to be back on side. A good throw out of there by Cotto. Cloudy almost took it away, but it redirects right to the feet of Uzin. Porter tried to take it away from her. Uzin tried to slip it through. Williams knocks it away. Uzin still trying to truck forward. And then Porter will send it over to Davis on the right side. Davis on the right wing to Walsh. A give and go with Davis. 2:17 and counting second half. Score tied at 1. Davis looking to cross. Ajiman, the All-American, defends her. Davis will curl in with a left foot. Got a foot on it. Looked to be Gardner for UNOH. Torin tried to play it to her right and does. Davis tried to play it into Zaire. Sent out of there by the Northwestern Ohio defense. Torin right foots this one in there. Slips right through to Zaire. Just a little bit too far for Walsh. As now she tries to jostle with the All-American Ajiman. Walsh making life difficult for Ajiman. They're able to get out of there to Northwestern Ohio. This one rolls all the way to the far sideline. It will go back to Taylor with 1:38 remaining here in half number 2. They're starting forward, Ketsaya Nair, down there at midfield ready to come back in. A late push here from Schuler. She carries up the left side now into the attacking half for Northwestern Ohio. Ball bouncing around, still loose in the middle. Thinking about a shot were the Racers. Passing it up was Stefan Stautier. And then Claddy will knock it away from her. A long-range shot. Williams with an easy catch, as it was Rabot who scored on the PK to tie it at 1. Sends it in as we approach a minute left to go here in the half. In regulation, that's the 6th save for Megan Williams tonight.
1 minute remaining.
One last push from either side, it looks like here. Schuler will play it on back to the captain, Kazanov. Torin steps up to defend her. Now coming in from the defensive end will be Gardner. She's on the left side of the box looking to cross. Does with a left foot. Right to Taylor Savannah Porter, who boots it out towards the far side of the field. Kazanov back in there. Williams steps in front. Charging back in is the forward Walsh. Over to Davis on the right side of the field. It goes off of the jumping Gardner, and Taylor will throw it in from the defensive half with 25 seconds left. Massey will throw it in. Torin trying to head it up. Now 15 seconds left. And the ball squirts to the middle of the field. Trying to fight with it is Lehman. Now we're under 10 seconds left. To the near side and Hawkins. A right foot in, nobody there. Williams comes off the line and she'll snag it. And we are heading to overtime. Taylor scored on Bailey Zaire's tally in the 72nd minute. Of goal, a free kick from Rabot will send us to overtime here. We'll pause momentarily. We'll come back with overtime right after this. Overtime number 1 set for 10 minutes. If we need a second one, we will go to another 10-minute session. Golden goal here as Taylor and number 3 Northwestern Ohio tied at 1. Northwestern Ohio attacking the goal to our right. They're in black, Taylor in white. Zaire trying to find Lehman. And Kazanov, the captain, will play it forward for Northwestern Ohio. And Kazanov's long pass knocked away by Massey. A little touch around. Massey will chase after it. Schuler hot on her heels. The men's soccer team that's assembled here tonight, all of those young men standing to our right, standing on their feet. Cole Gilliam shouting encouragement as his big sister Maddie gets ready to check in here. Just a minute into overtime, number 1. 1-1 our score between Taylor and number 3, Northwestern Ohio. Kazanov trying to send in a long-range shot. Williams dives and stops it on a long shot from the right foot of Uzin. 7th save by Megan Williams tonight. She is coming in after halftime here and has had to make some stellar saves. Tevens back in, loses her footing. She got tangled up, and there's a long pass all the way to the other end by Northwestern Ohio. It'll roll all the way across the end line, and Williams will have a goal kick here for TU. They whistle Tevens for the foul. And a quick restart here for Northwestern Ohio. They try to slip it through to Nair. It goes through everybody. Williams will chase after it and keep this one in, as it looked like that one might have gone off of a Taylor defender. Big right foot from Williams. Zaire lets it bounce. It goes through everybody. Then back into the middle of the field it goes. Little toe from Zaire, and here's Calvani with open space in front of her. Calvani's pass deflected back. She almost got it back at her feet. Taylor looks for a foul as Calvani's footing got lost underneath her. 1-1 our score, 3 minutes into the overtime, number 1. Torrin steps around and knocks this one out of bounds near side. It's the opening contest for both teams tonight, and it's been a good one here from Upland, Indiana. Zaire pounces and drives this one into the second row right down below us. Stefan Staltier. Good header by Massey to get that pass out of there. And then Williams will spike this one forward. Calvani muscling in, and a play on is called. The ball finds the feet of Calvani momentarily. Gardner will work it on back. Williams has it blocked back in. That's touched in, loose in the box. Shot deflected and it goes out across the end line. Shot was taken by Uzin, who's been all over the field here tonight, particularly in the second half for Northwestern Ohio. That's going to set up a corner here from the far side for the Racers. So it looks to be Schuler and Rabot, the two over there. It's a right-footed Rabot to Schuler. Now back to Rabot. Tevens sprinting after her. Rabot, a sidestep move, angling into Schuler. Back to Rabot inside the box. Shot off, and Williams stops another one. Almost halfway home here in overtime. Number 1 in Williams has come up with 2 huge stops. She has 8 saves on the evening. All coming here after halftime after she replaced the starter, Lauren Engelkess. Taylor trying to get it across midfield. They cannot. Porter into space near side. Holding it in will be Millie Hawkins for UNOH. Up to the speedster and Nar. Williams after it. End line. It'll roll out. And it's going to be another goal kick here for Williams and Taylor with 4.5 minutes remaining in overtime. Number 1, Maddie Gilliam comes in for TU. She replaces Jordan Lehman. UNOH holding it in here. They've played offense from almost the exact opening whistle of our first overtime as we're 6 minutes in. Still tied at 1. Nair trying to get away from Waltz, and now she'll play it up to Zaire. A dink around, and then Zaire is just tackled out of nowhere. The ball well behind, and a smart play there by Northwestern Ohio to keep things away from the speedster Zaire. They'll easily take the foul, and now Waltz will give it off to Claddy. Try to curl one to Zaire. It's knocked into the air. Nair, Taylor looking for a handball. They won't get one again. Williams will deny that easy pass on through, but Claddy's clearance to the far side will go right to the feet of Donna Schuler of Northwestern Ohio. Rabot, who tied our game at 1 on a penalty kick, tries to find Nair. She'll dink it on back to Hawkins. Zaire all in her grill, and then Sandstrom will drive it deep to Nair. Williams trying to beat her to it. Undercuts her, gets there first, does Raina Williams for Taylor. She'll let this one slow roll across the end line, and it'll be another goal kick here for Williams. Gilliam will curl it. This one sails out of here wide, near sideline. 2:32 and counting in the first overtime. Still tied at 1. And a good one here so far between Taylor and the 3rd-ranked team in the land, Northwestern Ohio. Hawkins trying to find Nair. Waltz with her step for step. And then Zaire pokes it away from Hawkins. Almost every player for Northwestern Ohio, as another one is driven in deep across the end line. Williams will get ready for another goal kick. We talked about the lack of subs tonight for Northwestern Ohio. They've only used 1 sub all night. The majority of their starting 11, are going to play the full 90 here tonight. Only a couple players have been subbed for the entire evening. Torrin knocked from behind. Taylor looking for a foul. They won't get it. UNOH able to hold it here on the near side field. Almost 90 seconds left in our first overtime session. And Hawkins again will try to carry it forward. Zaire with her step for step. Claddy trying to spin away from the pesky Stefan Stostier. A quick reset as Waltz will throw it in with 1:15 left in OT. Gilliam deep. Trying to get to it first is Tevens, and then drilled out of there is the All-American Ajiman. 65 seconds left. Waltz will throw it into Zaire. Here in OT number 1, Gilliam. Defenders hounding around her as we dip below a minute to go. She'll give it off to Zaire. Going to the middle. Zaire curling. There's Calvani heading back into space near side. Nobody there in white for TU. As Canto will play it across the end line. The Taylor fans trying to say that Canto touched that ball before it went out of bounds. There'll be a 35-second count left here in OT number 1 as Ajiman will take the goal kick. A low burner bouncing through. Knocked down by Stefan Stostier. And then Williams will volley this one out of play to the stands. 19 seconds left in OT. Number 1. And now we will get the 10-second count. Hawkins jogging forward to Uzun. And that one will slide in and go wide. It will take us to overtime number 2. Taylor didn't have a chance to play a lot of offense there in the first OT. But a 2-minute break here. We'll come back for our second and final OT session. The Taylor students that have made their way here tonight are standing on their feet. We've got 10 more minutes of soccer left here from Turner Stadium. Taylor has played a beautiful contest against the third-ranked Northwestern Ohio Racers. Megan Williams has made 8 saves here in the second half in overtime. 2 great ones in our first overtime session. As that ball bounces off the elbow of Kazanaw, and Taylor finally gets the handball that they've been looking for all night. This rowdy bunch of students that are down to our right, all standing on their feet, ready to come unglued if Taylor can get the winning tally here. Porter will take this free kick from the near side of the field. Taylor attacking the goal to our right. The senior puts a right foot into it, into the box. Still bouncing around, trying to slide into it. Still loose on the ground before UNOH clears. Calvani knocking it down, sweeping through. Her shot denied. She's tackled right at the top of the box. Her feet taken out from underneath her. She's slow to get back up. And that he gets Taylor head coach Scott Stan hot as he comes stomping down the near side looking for an explanation as Calvani had her legs just swept right out from underneath her. She's able to knock this ball back down, try to keep it going in Taylor's favor. The Taylor fans have not been happy with this refereeing crew here at all tonight, as now 2 UNOH players go down to stretch things out. Stefan Stottier trying to stretch out the back of her calves, but the one that is trying to need help from her teammates is the German Eileen Uzun, who's been a thorn in Taylor's side defensively here since halftime. Emily Calvani exits. She'll be replaced by Hannah Davis. A minute and 20 seconds here into the second overtime session. Taylor and number 3 UNOH tied at 1. And Eileen Uzin looks to be stretched out. And Massey throws it in, trying to connect with Tevens. Massey heads this one back in near midfield. Right towards Hannah Davis. She'll turn to the near sideline. Now angle back to her left. Here's Davis jitterbugging through tackles. That gets this crowd going. So slip one through to Zaire. She's got Davis to her right. Zaire will pass it on to Davis. Almost ran over it. Gets it back with the defender in front. Davis trying to get a little bit of room. That one cleared out here still. Goes into the box. It looked like it went off. Taylor's fans arguing for a handball inside the box as that one went off the midsection of Schuler of Northwestern Ohio. And Taylor will throw it in here with Massey. Tevens heads it down into space to the corner. Davis hustling after it. She won't get to it before it rolls across the end line. Just over 2 minutes gone here in the second and final overtime session. The sub is Rodier coming in for Northwestern Ohio. She'll replace Eileen Uzin, who is favoring that right leg as she jogs off the field. Goal kick to be taken by Ajiman, their All-American defender. Torin heads it back in for TU. She'll head this one back down. Just getting a toe on it was Kazanov. Into the box. Zaire hustling after it. Tried to toe that one in as Ajiman just sent that one to the sky. As Ajiman was not sure, did not know how close Zaire was. And then 3 in white turned on the afterburners and almost was able to poke that one on frame. It goes across the end line. It will be a Taylor corner from the far side to be taken by whom? It's going to be the senior Maddie Gilliam. Gilliam can really curl the ball with his right foot. That's what she does here. Massey's there. It's headed around once, twice, and then Porter will jump on it here on the near side. She'll turn over that left shoulder. The defender gets a hip check. Still trying to truck along here to the end line. It'll go off her back and not go out of bounds. This one a laser beam back up to her midfield with Claddy. Claddy into space. There's Zaire in the middle of the field. Her curling pass intended for Davis was redirected out of there. Torn will left foot one softly into the air. It's headed down to Stefan Statier. And now Gardner, the Ohio native, will play it on back to Ajiman out of Ghana. Quick passing, they'll find Schuler, does Northwestern Ohio. Torin steps in front of the pass and she'll lay it on back to Massey. Tevens knocked to the turf. Taylor looking for a foul, no whistle as the Trojan fans drowning out any whistle shrieks from the refereeing crew here tonight as Davis knocks it out of bounds. Ajiman landed on top of Tevens and took the 5'4" freshman right down to the field turf. Just about halfway home here in overtime. Number 2 still deadlocked at 1. Now Tevens gets gritty and wins the ball in front of Ajiman. Tevens in the middle. Gilliam just got a toe on it. And then trying to run away from the Trojans will be UNOH. And then Williams will send Rabot right down to the turf. Davis has got Zaire and Tevens in front. Tried to slip it through. It bounces right back to Davis to the top. And Tevens trying to work it over to Gilliam maybe. And then stepping in front and taking it away will be Hawkins. Almost halfway into the second overtime, still tied at 1. Torin trying to slip it away, and here comes UNOH after the turnover. They go all the way back to the defensive end in Hawkins, with Gilliam jogging after her. Northwestern Ohio dominated the first overtime. Taylor so far has had the advantage here in the first 5 minutes and 10 seconds of what will be our final overtime session of the night. Rabot to the middle of the field in Kazanov, who's been the dominant offensive quarterback tonight. A long pass will find the feet. This will be of Schuler. She's shoved down by Porter, and they whistle Savannah for the foul. And that draws a rain of boos from the TU students to our right. 4-woman wall for Taylor. Davis, Torin, Gilliam, and Claddy from our left to our right. Ajiman with that dominant right foot stands on top. She'll be the only one there. Rabot looked to be walking in, and now Rabot might be the one to take it. Schuler stands behind the wall, overrunning it. Ajina to the right side. That one wide, right of the frame. A good placement there by Ajiman, but that one wide, right of the frame. 3:47 and counting here in overtime number 2. Taylor and number 3 Northwestern Ohio deadlocked at 1. Taylor's been outshot tonight by almost 10. And then Claddy taken down from behind. They'll stop the clock. And now the card will come out and be issued to Agnes Steffenstatier. First card of the night against Northwestern Ohio. That stops the clock with 3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining here in overtime number 2. Waltz, the junior out of Ohio, will take this one from the far side of the field in her own defensive half. A short kick that Torin will head along over her head. Massey trying to work it forward. Still in the middle of the field. Now will be dumped down to Schuler. She'll get around Massey. As Nar will sprint after it. Porter trying to stay with her step for step. Nar gets it back. Porter drops back in. Stepping in front. Pass to the middle of the field where Gilliam will intercept. 3:07 left in overtime number 2. A long pass to Davis. She'll hustle after it. And the Big Rapids, Michigan native held it in for a moment and then just knocked it out of there with the inside of her left foot. Less than 3 minutes remaining here in overtime number 2. Zaire blocks it. This one still slowing back in. Zaire trying to pounce on Ajiman. It will not roll out of bounds. Ajiman slips it away. She falls down. And then they will call a foul against Bailey Zaire, to the dismay and displeasure of the Taylor students down to our right. They're going to wave Ajiman back. 2.5 minutes left in the second overtime. Taylor and third-ranked Northwestern Ohio deadlocked at 1. Ajiman plays it forward. Torrance skies for it, heading it along. Nar, pass into the middle. Williams will drive it forward. Tevens leaps. Couldn't get a good handle on it. And now UNOH will lay it back to Millie Hawkins. This ball rolls aimlessly away, so Waltz will pick it up for TU. She'll get it back from Gilliam far side. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the second overtime. Taylor and number 3 Northwestern Ohio tied at 1. With UNOH attacking the goal to our left, Taylor attacking the goal to our right. It's now Northwestern Ohio pressing forward. Williams trying to get a step. She'll sweep it on through to Zaire, who plays it back to midfield and Maddie Gilliam. Gilliam with a lot of room to work here. Into space, Tevens will have it roll pass. Now here's Danielle Torrent. 90 seconds left in overtime. This one drilled out of bounds near side. Davis will throw it in. She's got Tevens circling in front. Throws it to her. Tevens with the double team. She'll deflect the pass off of Schuler. 1:15 left in overtime. And Porter will throw it in here. Just at the end of her bench, down below us and to our right. Porter throws. Deflected around to the near side of the field. Rolling to the near sideline, less than a minute to go. And UNOH can't keep it in. So Porter will jog back in with 52 seconds left. It was Gardner who couldn't hold it in for Northwestern Ohio. Porter takes a look at the clock. She'll throw it in with about 43 seconds left. Torrin trying to head on, still loose in the middle. Still down inside the box, tapped around to the end line, still not clear. And offside will be the call against Taylor. With 32 seconds and counting here in the overtime session, Porter will drive this one far away from anyone wearing black kits tonight. Trying to kill as much time here as possible. Kate Ajiman, the sophomore All-American, will send the goal kick forward. Gilliam and Davis almost collided. Stepping out of the fray will be Steffenstatier. Ball almost overran. Claddy trying to win it forward. Then it'll be pushed on through by Rabot. 3 seconds left. This game is going to end in a 1-1 draw. The first overtime dominated by Northwestern Ohio. The second overtime dominated by the Trojans, but both teams come up empty here in both overtime sessions tonight. Megan Williams comes away with 8 saves after halftime, and each team will take a tie in their first game of the season. The Trojans scored first in the 72nd minute on Bailey Zaire's tally, and then a penalty kick went in by Rabot in the 80th minute as the Taylor women's soccer team gets a much-deserved standing ovation here from the Turner Stadium crowd here tonight. as Taylor played step for step and toe-to-toe with number 3 Northwestern Ohio tonight. They'll come away with a draw, a 1-1 tie after 110 minutes here from Turner Stadium tonight. Special thanks to Michaela Hartley for running our camera tonight. We say thank you to you folks tuning in here as well. Our next coverage of soccer comes up on Wednesday night here from Turner Stadium. Your final tonight, number 3 Northwestern Ohio 1, Taylor University 1. This has been a presentation of Taylor Women's Soccer here on the Trojan Sports Network.